enough.
Well, you drove out there into the middle of nowhere and had some sort of loud verbal display challenging ET in general out in the middle of nowhere?
That's what I was doing. I actually had a pistol in my hand at the time. I was really ticked off. When I was having this fit, I was waving the gun in the air, okay, and I had this fit. And at this moment, I said, okay.
He was a Louisiana man named Montaldo. Folks around called him Six Gun Joe. Worked with ICAR, don't you know? Investigating UFOs. Out for a drive with a gal one night, they stopped to check out the reporting site. When an alien lit right there on the ground, he commenced to throwing his weight around. Now, old Six Gun didn't take too kindly to that kind of thing, especially without Vaseline or anything like that, you know. Seriously. Well, Six Gun looked that critter right in the eye and said, "Any last wish before you die, yo?" Reached for his gun, quick as a twitch, and said, "Fill your claw, you son of a bitch." Now a legend spread across the land about this pistol-waving man. But if you're from space or from Earth below, you don't give no lip to Six Gun Joe.
Welcome to Paranormal Heart Podcast with host Kat Ward.
Whoop. Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome into the night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. And I got my co-host over here, Miss C.L. Thomas, one of my best friends in the whole wide world. We are on UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 the other way around, Mississippi. So just reverse those numbers. I'm so excited. I just don't know where I'm talking tonight. I got to put on the hat. Maybe the hat will help me out here. There we go. How's that look?
I like that hat.
You like that hat? Cool. I'm glad somebody does. CL has her own show Tuesday nights, 9:10 to 10:10 p.m. It is called the Gateway Podcast, and she has some awesome guests that she brings on, and she's really doing a very good job, and she's getting a lot of listeners, and I'm proud of her for getting all those listeners, and she just puts on a great show. I want to thank Joe Montaldo for allowing me to give you 2 hours a week, Sunday nights and Tuesday nights, 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. This Tuesday, I got author Mark Eddy coming on, and it's going to be a good show. 8:10. He's going to talk about his book, Antiquiums, or whatever. He'll explain it on Tuesday. But I'm looking forward to having him on the show. CL, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Look at all these beautiful people in the chat room tonight. My boy Kurt.
I saw Mark Eddy on here.
Yeah, he's there. Mark Eddy's in the room. Kurt, Heidi, good to see you. Let's see who else is in here. Donna, hey Donna, good to see you. There's our buddy Mish. She's from Australia. This is my buddy. Okay, so let's do it. Tell us about your past weekend trip.
Oh dear, I went to Lilydale. Did some.
Can you tell people? Can you tell? Hey, John, that's my cousin John. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Hi, cousin John. Are you in Pittsburgh too?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
What time is it in Australia, by the way?
Mitch, what time is it where you're at? Cindy Mitch, good to see you. She'll get to us. She's having her first. It must be morning because she's having her first coffee. But so explain to our people out there, what is Lilydale?
Oh gosh,
Lilydale. 9:46 a.m. in Australia. Thank you.
That's not too early. I guess it's early on our standards, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Lilydale is the capital of spiritualism.
Okay.
And all of the greatest mediums in the world conjugate at Lilydale to get readings. There's classes. A lot of them live in that area. And it's become kind of like the spiritualist mecca. And this place started back in 1850s, and it continues to this day. So that's what it is in a nutshell. And so the Church of Spiritualism was actually started there in the 1850s. And they have paintings on the walls of this place that were supposedly precipitated. If you guys don't know what that means, what happens is the mediums would contact the spirit world, and a painting would allegedly just appear on the canvas as if it was being painted by a spirit. So they have these things in the main hotel in this place. The hotel is built in the 1850s. It looks exactly the way it did back then, except for it's missing a balcony. But those paintings hang on the wall that supposedly these mediums conjured up spirits that drew these paintings. It's a very interesting weekend.
Huh. So what kind of, hey, Mr. Daniel Hagman, good to see you, sir. Cindy says her daughter lives about a half hour away from there. Danny says, very interesting guest. Great show, Sean. Thank you. Bay Bob Posco, good to see you. Kevin, good to see you. They're all in today, buddy. They know you're on. They know you're on, which is great. I'm just so proud. So tell me, up in Lilydale, you contacted me this past week, okay, knowing that you were going to be co-host, and you asked me if we could talk about spiritual journeys. And that's
yes.
Symbolisms. So send your messages. What's your spiritual journey? What did you find out?
So the paranormal journey for me wasn't about investigating with equipment and being on TV or any of that kind of stuff. I've experienced the paranormal since I was very young, and it's become, especially the last, I'd say 6 or 7 years, very much a spiritual journey for me. And with that, when I went to Lilydale, I was kind of reevaluating. As you know, I was kind of upset with the paranormal world about some things. And because of that, I'm kind of separating myself from a lot of the paranormal community. You know, I'm getting away from the Paracons and, you know, all of that kind of stuff, the TV side. And so, you know, I was kind of wondering, well, what is it do I do now? And so one of the things I look at is I kind of asked Spirit, you know, what should I do? What direction should I take? And a lot of times I'll get different messages from the spirit world and symbolisms and just things that happen along the way. So when I was in Lilydale, I got to do a couple of readings. I do spirit art readings. I did some counseling with some people. It really kind of narrowed me into the direction that I'm supposed to go in, if that makes sense. And
makes a lot of sense.
A series of events happened while I was there, such as a wolf howling, which is very not characteristic this time of year. We caught a glowing green ball around me while we were there. It could have been, people say that it would be a light flare if I showed anybody it, but it's not, because we took this thing in the woods, pitch black, no flash, and you see this ball. I actually have it posted on my Facebook page that you can go and look at. Just some of the things that happened that night as well that I was there. So I'm wondering, does stuff like that happen to you?
Yes, it does. And there's your little puppy right behind you. Hi, pup. There she is. Look at her. Oh, she is so cute.
She's mad at me right now. She wanted to go to the park.
Well, you know what? Sorry about that, dude. You got an hour and a half. We're allowed to go over half. So anyway, your mom, she don't have her makeup on, so she might be afraid to go out. We don't say nothing. But yeah, a lot of things happen. For me, a lot of when I know that I'm ready to progress up, okay, onto another level of spiritualism, stuff starts to happen, okay. It could be like the hawk coming and just sitting there with me, okay, and that has happened. Or a flock of ravens just, you know, when I'm sitting on my porch, you know, they land on the wire there, and they just all look at me. They don't make no noise, stuff like that, but they just look at me. So when I see different changes happening around me, I know I'm progressing. And to me, I take those as signs, right? But what's not right for me is that when I see all this stuff happening around me, I go into a meditation and I try to find out the answers why this is all happening to me, you know? And to think, I've been doing this for over 30 years, that I would just know right offhand that they're not going to tell me what's going to happen, right? But I do go into that meditation to try to find out. But so now for me, okay, when anything like that happens, especially with the animals, it's like, okay, something's going to come down the pike, and I got to deal with it when it comes. You know, with the wolf howling, that's interesting. Okay. May I make a suggestion to you?
Mm-hmm.
Go and Google Ted Andrews. He's an author. He has 2 books out. It's called Animal Speak. Okay. It's a big book on the animals and what their spiritual meanings are. Why you heard him. Do I think that the wolf now is part of your spirit guide? Yeah, I believe that. I believe he's one of your guides. You were saying which path to take. You know, I'm not giving you a reading here, but this is what I'm thinking, that maybe it's time for you to start looking on the spiritual side of the paranormal investigation. You know, not the metaphysical, but just the spiritual side of things.
You're exactly right. And that's the direction that, I mean, the wolf to me, because I was kind of questioning, can I give readings like this? Am I good enough to,
Never doubt yourself. Never doubt yourself.
And the wolf kind of really stands out because it's a creature that I think the Native Americans believe that it's really, you stand up for yourself kind of thing. I can't really put it into words. So like I'm just coming into what I'm supposed to do, and I'm being I'm able to stand up in that power, I guess.
Right.
If that makes sense.
The
I'm
wolf,
not saying right.
right. But the wolf is the spiritualism behind that. The wolf is a leader. It has family values. Hey, Joe Fox, good to see you,
Joe
buddy.
Fox.
No, Mish, I didn't get a chance to see the water wolf on Carrie Lynn's show. No, I haven't. I'm gonna have to look for that. But no, the wolf is the teacher. He's big into family, and he's strong. Now, my wolf teaches me a lot, right? But my wolf is big, bad, and he kicks ass and takes names later, and that's who he is. He is my animal totem. Okay, he is my major totem for me. So, what I see is that maybe I'm wrong here, but I see like you're doubting things, doubting on this new path that you're going to be taking, on this spiritual thing. And you know what? Just go with the flow. And if I can also make a suggestion to you, whenever you're out, no matter what you're doing, whatever animal crosses your path, write it down. Write it down. And then at the end of the day, when you're home, okay, then look them up and find out why why you saw that type of animal, okay, and why that animal showed in front of you, because they're all there for a reason. They are all there to help us guide on our paths. Now, they might not be there all the time, okay, but they are definitely there for the day that you saw them. Hey, Heidi, good to see you. Welcome back. Okay. The hell with Google Maps. But yeah. So when you heard the wolf howl, I need to ask you this question: how did you feel inside?
It sounded eerie.
Okay.
If you've ever heard a wolf cry in person out in the wild like that, it sounds so creepy.
Okay. And what were your first thoughts when you heard that wolf?
Are we safe?
I mean, what's that?
Are we safe?
Oh, yeah.
The person I was with, there was several things going on that night. So we went into the woods just to do a paranormal investigation. And where we went is back the stump. If you've ever seen anything on Lily Dell, there's a stump there, and it's of this old 400-year-old tree that had fallen down, and they just have the stump there still, and it's humongous. But they've been gathering at this stump for the last 100 years to do what they say is thought exchange, to communicate with the spirit world, all of that kind of stuff. It happens there. And so a century of that energy and that space has made it just really electrical in the first place. But it's also way back in the woods. And these woods aren't normal either. So these are called old growth woods. The trees are well over a couple hundred years old. They're not allowed to cut anything down. Nothing leaves the forest and nothing goes into the forest. So, and I forget how many acreage they have, but they basically own the entire island, and it's this really deep woods. So there's nothing back there, and it's kind of spooky. But that's where we were, ghost hunting, trying to pick up that energy. And that's when we heard that wolf. But it wasn't just the wolf. There was also an owl that was hooting, and there was also coyotes off in the distance.
Okay, so write those animals down. All right.
It was so eerie, though.
Right. But you know what? Think about it. Like, okay, I mean, before you went to Lily Dill, you really were struggling with the paranormal field, right?
Yeah.
And so you decide, what the hell? Let's just go out in the woods and do a paranormal investigation. And all of a sudden, you heard three different animals. Okay, think about it. So write down the owl, write down the wolf, and write down the coyotes. I know the coyotes are considered the tricksters. Joe Fox says, actually, it sounds beautiful there. Is it
It's
beautiful
very
there?
beautiful. Oh, it's gorgeous. Very
Hmm.
gorgeous. Very pretty. But it
Um,
just has this energy, this overlaying energy there that there's another thing just to throw out there. So because it is the beginning of spiritualism and mediumship and all that kind of stuff, they had taken the original Fox sisters cottage. I think this was in the 50s. They actually moved it from one side of New York to Lilydale, and it was there for
mhm.
a number of years. And the place it burned down mysteriously, but they put a memorial there, like a garden, in its place instead of rebuilding it. That area is really haunted, and it's like a darker haunting. It's kind of spooky to go back in there,
Hmm.
but it's pretty.
And when you went on this paranormal investigation that night, right? Um, did you pick anything up? Did you get any evidence?
That green ball, that light ball that we saw,
Okay.
to get that, and it floated about 2 or 3 feet off the ground. We also heard a growl, unintelligible talking. We couldn't
Okay.
tell what it was saying.
Did you
Things
get it
like
on an EVP?
I'm still going through the audio to see if I picked that up.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting about the green orb. Now, I have a theory on green orbs. Okay. I believe whenever you see a green orb, they are animal spirits. Okay.
Oh, that's
Uh,
interesting.
yes, because I got to one picture where we call him the preacher man. We got him down in Elizabeth, PA. Okay. And right below his feet, you see a green orb, right? And from what Sue told us was right where that preacher was standing, right where that orb was happening, okay, is where she buried her pets.
Mm. That's interesting you say that because there's a huge pet cemetery around that area as well.
Okay. Cindy, Joe Fox says 200 years plus old growth, a lot of hearts. Cindy says we have coyote wolf hybrid game commission stock them. Huh. And Joe says, I would love to sit at the bottom of a 200-year-old tree and have a conversation. Me too, buddy.
If trees
Dude,
could
that
talk.
would be awesome. No, they do. Trees talk. Did you know that?
Me?
Yeah.
I do know that. Yes.
Okay, good. Do you know, just don't put your hand on a cactus, all right? Because you know what I mean. If you decide to put that cactus hand on the cactus, it'd probably be saying ouch. You know what I mean? It's like,
Don't
I
fall
ain't
in the
gonna
canyon.
need
That's the thing out where I live.
man,
My dog's been to the vet a couple of times for getting needles in her nose.
oh really? Oh
Hmm.
wow.
Sniffing cactus.
So tell me your experiences. I know this isn't your first time you went to Lily Dill. How many times have you been up there?
Just this was my first time.
Oh, it was? I thought you were
Yeah.
up there before.
No, so I had trained under a medium that was at Lilydale. He now owns he doesn't own, but he runs his own spirit church in New Jersey. His name's Joe Shiel. I learned how to do spirit art under him
Okay.
a few years back.
So would your spirit art be considered like automatic writing?
It would, yes. It's very similar. So it's kind of like regular mediums. I'm sure there's some mediums in the audience. When you sit down and do a reading for somebody, I'm more visual. So I do hear stuff, but I more so see it. So, and I'm also an artist. So I just put two and two together and I'm able to sketch, draw whatever spirit comes through.
And you're also an author too, aren't you?
Yes.
Oh, right. Let's talk about that a little bit. We got another hour, hon. We're allowed to go over a half hour, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Until I think
Wow.
September. I think until September, the beginning of September, then the show that is on at 3:00 Sunday afternoons will be following my show on Sunday nights. So I'm looking forward to them. They're the Navajo guys. You know, I'm gonna try to get them on my show, you know, before they have to do a 2-hour show, you know what I mean? So, but
What's
yeah,
their name?
let's talk about. Oh gosh, I right now off the top of my head, maybe one of the girls, Heidi, if you're still in the room. What's the name of the Navajo guys? I don't know. I'll try to find that at break. But yeah. So tell us about your books. Oh, Craig says Dawn and Darren. He said they're awesome. So we're looking.
Are they Native American?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're out your way, I think. Colorado? I'm not sure. Somewhere out in that area.
Around the Four Corners area.
Ah, cool. I can imagine the paranormal energy there at the corner.
What I get a lot from those Native American spots, because I do visit a lot of that out here, it's like a low vibration that you get. Okay. It's more peaceful.
It's more peaceful? Even when you walk by the burial grounds, the burial...
Yeah, you know, I have a theory about that. I really don't think that these burial grounds are cursed. Okay. You know where I think that idea comes from? Where? Honestly, like, okay, the Bell Witch. You know the story about the Bell Witch in Tennessee?
Yeah.
They blame that whole thing on this Native American burial that supposedly they found in a cave out there.
Right.
And they connected that somehow with John Bell. But if you kind of back that up, or first of all, the Bell Witch Cave, that cave's not even on the original Bell farm. It's like miles.
Really?
Yeah, it's more than 10 miles away from the original farm, and it's not even part of the original story. So that comes in later after the people bought the land with the cave on it. But anyhow, I digressed. So if you back it up further and you go into like American history and you start studying like what was happening in colonial days, where the Native Americans were raiding a lot of the colonial towns, particularly up in the Northeast. This was like, 16th, 17th centuries. So automatically they got called like demonic, evil, human, all this stuff. That's what the colonial people would refer the Native Americans to. And that's where that idea of curses in them come from. So I really don't believe that Native Americans curse. I don't, it's kind of like how people like to blame the Jewish objects as being cursed. It's the same thing.
Right. Hey, Sherry, Matt, how you doing? Sherry popped in. I like her. She's good to. And Joe says he heard that Annabelle doll was purchased by a young comedian. Okay, Kevin says, oh gosh. Kevin says, Don't Whistle at Night is the name of the show. That will be coming on Sunday nights. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it. I don't know. Man, I gave up on Annabelle, man. But God bless that young comedian. I hope he knows what he's doing with it. I guess he can make a skit out of it, but I don't know. I don't know about that. But listen, hon, we're at the 30-minute mark. Remember, we can go over for a half hour today. So what I'm going to do, we're at the 30, so we're going to be taking a break, and I'll see you guys back 2-3 minutes from now. And we will talk about CL's books. Okay, so if she wants to, you know what I mean? We're trying to find something here. Oh, gosh, where are you at, girl? Where are you at? Okay. All right. Okay, we got this one.
Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Stop this conversation. We got no relation.
Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana Fiestra, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. And this is me, your host, Sean Kelly, of the show Into the Night, along with my wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous, outstanding Miss C.L. Thomas, who has her show, which is the Gateway Podcast, which is on Tuesday nights, 9:10 to 10:10 p.m. She's right on after me. So, you know, after my show, go over, give her some love, you know, and, just say, hey, I was at Sean's show and told us to come over here and give you some love. So that's what we're doing. Want to thank UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 New Orleans. Nope, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans, for allowing me to give you 2 hours on Sundays and Tuesday nights. There's some things that were sent in the chat I'd like to bring up a little bit. Mish says, anyone concerned about the volcanoes and earthquakes going on ATM? I don't know what that means, buddy. Jersey did get hit with what the hell did they get hit with? What did they get hit with? It was a hurricane, not a hurricane, a volcano, eruption, something?
No, I don't know. I know that Russia they had a earthquake, and in California got only one little port, though, got some waves from it. And then there was a volcano somewhere that went off.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Mish, I'm glad you brought that up. We'll talk about that. I don't really know if it has to do with anything paranormal but I do believe, and I believe this from my heart, that I believe Mother Earth is saying you better be careful because I know what I can do if I really want it to happen. This
That's
said to
right.
Russia, you know what I mean? Russia's volcano erupted the first time in years, many years. And if you look at that situation, right, with the volcano in Russia and all that stuff, whatever happened there, I mean, it's not just here in the United States; it's everywhere. So let me ask you this question: do you think? And I'm asking this question for the people in the chat room too. And I'd like to hear your response. Do you think Mother Earth is trying to give us a warning? CL?
I don't know. It could be. It could be. There's a lot of interesting things going on right now. Like we have a lot of 100-year-old floods happening all over the place, one after another. We got, Vegas had one recently. Somewhere else had one just recently. Was it New York?
Yeah, New
Somebody else
York
had
and New Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's another geyser that just opened up in northern Nevada. Yellowstone just had a new geyser pop up. So there's definitely things happening all over the place.
Do you have a theory?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't,
Okay.
but I would love to hear everybody else's theories.
Yeah, so Mish, Heidi, whoever's in there, we would love to hear your theories on that. Kurt says there also seemed to be a lot of full moons that were pink and red in all sorts of colors this year.
Oh, this year, though, there is something to that. The moon is the closest to Earth that it has been in 7 years. It's a 7-year cycle with it. So
Okay.
for those who are doing moon magic, this is the year to do it.
What is moon magic, CL?
Ooh,
Crystal?
it's when you use the moon's magic for waning and waxing to kind of enhance your spell work.
Okay.
So you can charge like crystals by leaving them out on full moons. You can use this stuff like if you want to get rid of bad energy, you want to start doing spells when the moon is waning. If you want to bring something into your life, you want to do it as the moon is waxing. And especially now, it's going to be like all this stuff is going on across the earth. You can tap into that energy and really create some fantastic magic work if you believe in that stuff.
Joe Fox has a question for you. Are you remotely concerned about the Yellowstone caldera?
A little bit. I do keep an eye on that. And they said that the core of that caldera is moving several inches up and down. So they're kind of watching it. So that kind of tells me.
We did talk about that. Oh, go ahead.
That tells me that, there's something going on, especially when they got geysers brewing up out there. And there's a lot of activity going on in Yellowstone right now. It's interesting. They don't think it's going to blow up, but I mean, technically, what do they know though, for real? I mean, think about it.
Well, yeah, that's true. But we did talk about it yesterday on the chat, and we did talk about it on the chat. At the caldera, they don't really think that it's going to explode because it's empty. You know what I mean?
But it's not empty. There's a whole lot of magma underneath there. That's what's keeping everything heated on top.
Could be. I don't know. I'm not really big into volcanoes yet. The only one I know is Joe and the Volcano, that movie. That was about it. You know what I mean? But my theory, Miss says, other volcanoes are going off might lessen the pressure on Yellowstone. That's pretty true. That could be.
Did you know that out here in the desert, there is a place called the Devil's Hole? And it's out in Death Valley. And it's this deep, deep, deep cavern of water that's heated. and there's these fish that live in there, so it's protected because of these fish. But they said that there was an earthquake out in China, and it actually fluctuated the water within this cave.
Oh, wow.
Somehow.
Do you think, well, here's a way, that could, I'm sure it's a sign about Yellowstone and all these volcanoes and stuff like that. But I look at it like this, why worry about stuff like that when there is nothing we can do about it and that it's going to happen? Joe Fox has heard of the Devil's Hole.
The Devil's Hole, that could be an entire program on its own. That place is so mystical.
2 more weeks when you're back on again. That's going to be our topic, okay?
Okay. So I won't say anything else about it.
All right, no. So come back in 2 weeks and me and CL are going to do a show on the Devil's Hole, which would be great. But so tell us about your books.
So
yeah, do a road trip, Miss. Yes, he's getting to the point where I'm going to have to hop on a plane and go out there and beat her butt.
You would love it out here. There's so much stuff to see.
Awesome idea, Sean. Thank you, Joe. So talk about your books that you authored.
I have 2 books. One of them just got published through Haunted Road Media. That's with Mike Rissicker's publishing group. And that one is my own story. So I kind of grew up with the paranormal, with the experiences I've had my whole life. And I had one experience when I first moved to Nashville that just kind of rocked my world a little bit. So that's what that book is about. It's Dancing with Demons, the 2nd edition. And then the other one is just a historical fiction that I wrote. It's
they're all coming out. All your animals are coming out today.
No,
that's a big ass cat. Oh my God, sucker's huge. What's the cat's name?
This is Loki.
Loki. Hey, Loki. Hi, Loki. How are you? Joni McLillick. How are you, Joni? Good to see you, hon. Joni, meet Loki. Everybody meet Loki. Loki, everybody. But what inspired you to write those books?
Well, the Dancing with Demons one, I just wanted to put something out there that kind of told a little bit about my story with a haunting and how it went down and how it kind of changed my life. And the reason I did it was because I wanted to help someone else that was going through the same thing without all of the Hollywood theatrics. Because I feel like similar stories have a lot of theatrics to it, and it's really not what I experienced. The other one is when I was in Louisiana after Katrina, I was working with documenting FEMA. And I traveled up and down River Road for the first time and got to see all of the sugar plantations that are down there. And each one of them have this really dark history and legend to it. So I just kind of combined them all into one story. And that's where you get Speaking of Shadows. So there's like a voodoo queen in it. There's a whole lot of hauntings that are centered around this one plantation, which is in real life. There are several plantations along River Road with legends and hauntings. So
Sherry said the puss is gorgeous. She has 4 of them. Oh my God. God bless you. Joni says hi, Loki.
I can't imagine having 4 of these.
Hey, Sparky. Oh, she's purring, Mrs. Purring. Okay, now, Miss, what did you put in your coffee, honey? Huh? Something good. But think about it, when we were talking at the beginning of the show, okay? Either your animals want to see who in the hell I am, okay? Or they're just like saying, hey, Mom, let's go on the spiritual path here with animals.
I think they probably like the sound of your voice.
Oh, really? Okay. What's wrong? My voice okay? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's very calm, soothing.
Okay. Good. Thank you for the compliment.
Yeah, it's you have a really good radio voice.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. So do you. Soothing. Ah, thank you. God, I'm blushing now. It's hard to take compliments nowadays. Wait until somebody came up to me today, and this is true. I was up at work, okay, and this is a true story. They said, you're going to have to shave your beard. And I said, you're going to have to deal with 651,000 people out there in the world that will fight you if I take this off, this beard off.
Why would you have to shave your beard?
Because I work in the food industry.
Oh.
I cut meat, so I don't really cut meat no more that much. I'm getting up there in age, I think. No, I just don't cut. We have youngins that do the cutting. You know what I mean? So, who lives under the beard? Everybody wants to know that. But no, have you ever thought of planning writing another book?
I'm working on one right now. I'm actually working on two. Yes. So one of them is it's called Ghost and Grit, and it's about some of the haunted places I've been out here since I've been in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, it's more about spirit art and spiritual.
That's pretty cool. I'm getting so many compliments. Thank you. But don't forget, CL came up with the sexy Santa. So
sexy Santa.
Sexy Santa coming up. So
Are you gonna braid your beard? Maybe
I can't. I wish you know what? I don't know how to do it, and I'm trying to find somebody that could braid it for me. Yeah, question out there in the chat room, guys. Think I should braid this long thing here? Should I braid it? What do you think? I've seen them on other guys with them braided, or with like little rubber bands on them. I don't know yet.
It'd be a really good option to not shave it, just braid it.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, and like I said, 651,000 people would be kicking their ass. So what else has been doing, Miss CL?
Just working on magazine stuff. Getting ready to launch the next magazine. It's a little late, and it's because I've been changing dimensions of it for printing.
What do you mean? What do you mean dimension?
The size. So the original size was the British version, which is it's called an A4. This is print terminology, which is slightly bigger than your regular 8x11. So we're changing that, and I'm having to resize everything so that it's cheaper to print. Trying to get the cost of it down.
Mish has a great question for you. What's a cool story you can share from your book?
There's a lot of stories in there.
Come on, girl, you can do it. Pick one.
Which book do you want to hear the story from, Mish?
Anyone. You're haunting one. You're haunting.
Let's see. That one's a little more spooky. Because that one, I went through an entire. It was, I could talk about it now, but back then, that book, when all that stuff happens, that was the first time I was ever fearful of the paranormal, and it just rocked my world. So that one, it's a little hard to talk about still, but I could give you one story. Sorry, I was reading one of the comments. Have you ever heard of scrying with charcoal and paper or wood for spiritual scrying? It's very interesting. Would that be like automatic writing?
That's scrying, but you do it on the mirror or paper or wood, whatever. That's with charcoal.
I've never tried that. Have you, Sean?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Have you ever done anything like that, Sean?
I have never tried automatic writing. I know I could do it, but I never did it for some reason. That was one of the things that I have never tried before, and I'm not really supposed to. I believe Spirit said, "No, you ain't doing that," you know. So you know what? To be honest with you, I just go with whatever Spirit has, um, whatever Spirit has in mind for me. You know, um, Mish says I suck at my own writing. No, you don't. But so hi, back to you again on these books and being an author.
I
If
can
somebody,
give you. Go ahead.
go ahead. No. You're first. Go ahead.
I was going to tell the story real quick.
Okay.
So it got to the point where the energy started really small. I was living in a house and it was haunted, and I ended up losing a relationship over it. And then one of my best friends, after we kind of broke up, one of my best friends moved in, and she started experiencing all of the phenomenal. But it started very small. Like it would be keys missing, and my significant other at the time, he was really, I don't want to say anal, but he was really particular about where things go. Like the keys always had to go in the same place. My purse had to always be, you know what I mean? One of those kind of guys. But the keys would end up missing. Like they would end up on the table or on the floor, or one time we found them in the trash. He thought I was doing that stuff. So it was like little stuff like that where stuff would move around or disappear, reappear somewhere else. I think there's a name for that, a port. But when he moved out, my friend moved in. 6 months later, the energy got really bad to the point where I was a total different person by this point. But stuff was like sitting on my bed. One night I heard like something walking back and forth in my room, but you couldn't really see it with your eyes. And I was scared. I knew right away that something was going to happen. It got really, really hot in the room. And all of a sudden I heard this loud bang, and I turned on the light just in time. And I saw my gym bag from my bathroom at the time go flying across the room, and it hit my cat. I had a cat named Dimitri at the time. So that was like one of the scariest things that happened to me. I also got scratched from that house. Just all kinds of things happened. One day, my roommate at the time said she walked into the kitchen, and it was like something you would see on a movie or something. She had gone in there to get something, walked out to do something else, and then when she went back, like not even 5 minutes later, all the cabinet doors were open. I mean, that's something you would see on Poltergeist or one of those TV shows or movies. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, to this day, we still talk about it, and we're like, can you really believe that happened? So, yeah, that's some of the stories that came out of that house.
So to me, okay. So to me, your house is a legitimate haunted house. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And then you got Amityville Horror, who I believe was, but we're not going to get into that because this is Sunday night and we're going to have a happy show. Okay. I don't know. A lot of people have tried to talk me into writing my own book. Okay. You know, a lot of people have. I try to sit down, but I just can't because I don't know if I want to. I want to, but then again, I don't want to. Or is it that I'm deliberately being blocked by spirit not to write it? What do you think?
It could be if something is, because I tell you this, John, whenever I was trying to write that book, it was very difficult to write it. And I tell you why. Every time I would go to write it, something major would happen. Mm-hmm. Like I had a second occurrence of cancer. I've had someone die on me, just different things. My house blew away in a tornado. You know, it was just always something major right before I finished the book to where it would turn my attention away from it.
Okay.
So it could be the spirit world trying to block you from sharing the truth. Because I don't want to throw around the word demon at all, but there are such thing as negative entities out there. And what's happening in the paranormal community, it feels like all of a sudden it's become almost taboo to talk about it, right? So, and the reason for that is because of all these fake movies that's come out, like Conjuring House and all of these other different things that come out over the years. It's become very much a Hollywood thing, and now all these investigators that are out there, they don't want to associate with themselves with that because they're trying to portray themselves as real. And so right away they're throwing out if it's a negative entity or not. They don't want to even talk about it or discuss it, that that's a possibility. Does that make sense?
In a way, yeah, it does make sense. But for me, I couldn't do that. If it was a evil spirit or a negative spirit, I talk about it because that's just me. Whatever I pick up, whatever I see, I can't candy coat. I have to be honest, because if I want to be, candy coat things to a client, especially, me knowing that it is like a really nasty, bad spirit in the house causing all this harm, right? And I don't tell them that, then I'm not doing my job.
I think you should finish your book.
I love a book by Sean, but okay, Kurt says, I love a book by Sean, but you think he could decide what all he should put in one book? He might have to do a series. Kurt is right on that one too. So I'm going to give all my notes. I'm going to give them to CL. She'll write a book.
I'll be your ghostwriter.
There you go. But no, we are getting on top of the hour. Okay, and we're going to have about another half hour left. So the adventure of Sean. Huh? Oh no, I already have the title of the book already. And I'll tell you guys, it's Ghosts Do Exist. That's the name of my spirit. That's the name of my book. I think I got the title. Ghosts Do Exist. Try me. No, that was just. But listen, yeah, we are at the 60-minute mark on the show here. I'm going to go take a break, and then we'll finish up. Oh, really, Mish? Kelly is my grandson's last name. Awesome. And they spelt it right, Kelli. Awesome. So we're going to come back in a couple minutes. Go have a coffee, do the bathroom, do what you got to do. Please share this show out, to everybody. And we'll see you in a couple minutes there. Okay, we can play Church of Mavis.
The Church of Mavis radio show, Friday nights at 8 p.m., 7 Central, starring Jeffrey Pritchett with his co-hosts Wham and Jay McNicholas, right here on the United Paranormal Radio Network, UPRN 107.7 FM, New Orleans.
Hi, I'm Brittany Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms, Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth it.
Are you ready to explore the unknown? Dive into the world of the strange, mysterious, and unexplained with Eerie Expeditions magazine. Each issue is packed with spine-tingling tales, cutting-edge paranormal investigations, and exclusive insights into hauntings, cryptids, UFOs, and more. Whether you're a seasoned investigator or just love a good ghost story, Eerie Expeditions magazine has something for you. Join our growing community of truth seekers and adventure lovers. Subscribe today at EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com and unlock the secrets of the supernatural. Are you ready?
Hey, welcome back to the bonus half hour of Into the Night with me, Sean Kelly, and my co-host, CL Thomas of the Gateway Podcast. Sparky, thanks for popping in. Go have fun with your wife. So Miss said that they should call my grandson Ned Kelly. Was an Aussie bushranger. Why not? They didn't like that idea. Okay. Alrighty. And so we're back. So we got a half hour to talk about whatever you want to talk about, Miss Thomas.
Well,
what would you like to talk about?
I want to talk about, I'm not exactly sure.
You're not exactly
about how the paranormal, when we think of the paranormal, we think of spooky stuff, like my story in Nashville, for instance, and haunted woods and haunted this, haunted that, but we don't really look at it as something that can help us, guide us, like in our own life. Like, we're too busy running away from the paranormal, I feel like, instead of letting it talk to us, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Trying to get answers to help us on our journey?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, have you ever been on an investigation, for instance, in a location where the spirit world might have done something or connected with you in some way to where it was more personal and not really about the location?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, to be honest with you, there was a period for about 2 or 3 months, this is a while back, where the same ghost followed me everywhere. No matter where I went on an investigation, that same ghost was there. And it wanted to send me messages. And at first I didn't want to hear it because, to be honest with you, I had an ego and I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear nothing, especially from the spirit. And then I came to realize, so Sean, why don't you just open up your ears, and just see what this spirit has to tell you. And I did. And I really, really should have listened earlier, because what the spirit wanted to tell me was, something that I could have dealt with a couple months before. You know what I mean? Can they help you on your journey? Yeah, absolutely. I remember my very first investigation. We were out at Blue Mist Road, it's out there in North Park. And it's like one of the most haunted roads here in Pennsylvania. It really, really is.
What's the name of it
That's
again?
where Blue Mist, Bluemist, yeah. And that's where I met my first spirit guide. Okay. With Blue Mist Road, before it became the park, North Park, it was one big farmland. Okay. And a lot of people did satanic worshiping back there. There was a lot of hanging of African Americans. Yes. And I mean, there was a lot of negative energy back here, a lot of spirits. And that's where I picked up my very first. And the dude followed me, and he kept talking to me. And I'm like, let me go to bed, Or when I went to try to go to the bathroom, he'd follow me into the bathroom. And I'd just like, no, dude, you got to leave. I'm taking a bath or a shower. I got to go to the bathroom, so you're not allowed in here. And then that same year, we went down to Prospect Place down in Trimway, Ohio. And there was a ghost, her name, Constance was her name, okay? And she died of pneumonia down there, or something like that. And she followed me everywhere. And at that time, I was really going through some really heavy, deep depression at the time, okay? And she followed me from Trimway, Ohio. Welcome back, Heidi. Okay, yep, just in time. But she followed me everywhere, because she knew that I was depressed, and she was there to take care of my depression, not to make me smile or be happy. She was there to comfort me. A lot of people might think that's kind of strange back then. Okay. Now in the 21st century, it isn't so strange anymore, but back then it was. But yeah. And she helped me continue to go on my path. Does that make sense?
It does. I had a very similar thing happen to me with a spirit. Right after the Nashville tornado, for a lot of people, my stuff got, I had a lot of tornado damage and ended up selling my home over it. After I sold the house, I was moving to Las Vegas, and I was carrying my 2 fur kids, the cat and the dog that you saw earlier. So I was going to drive them back to Las Vegas, and I wanted to make it into a road trip because I wasn't sure, this was during COVID. I wasn't sure, what I was going to do with the rest of my life. I had just lost everything I knew in Nashville. One of the places I stopped was the Crescent Hotel down in Eureka Springs. And if you've ever been there, there's a backyard that overlooks the mountain. And up on that mountain, there's like a giant Jesus, and I think those are the Ozark Mountains, if I'm not mistaken. But as I was sitting there, I started crying because I didn't know, what am I going to do? I don't have a job right now. Everything I know is gone. With the tornado, the work was all gone because of COVID. It seemed like everything was just coming apart. So as I'm sitting there, the spirit shows up of a female, and she's dressed in white. And she goes, well, you're lucky. You get to walk away from this place. And for anyone that knows the story behind Eureka Springs, it used to be a place where people had cancer. That might have been their last hope, was to go to this place because they thought that the water there was going to heal them. And there was this guy who would take their money, and then basically he was killing them through his medical.
Oh, wow.
So I assume she might have been either one of the people that was sick or one of the nurses that was dealing with these people. She was wearing white, so I'm assuming she was a caregiver of some sort. But just that short connection kind of changed my entire perspective of what was happening at the time. So, yeah.
So would you, hey, Michelle, good to see you, honey. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping in tonight. Could she also have been a guardian angel? Do you believe in angels?
I do, yes. I absolutely believe in angels.
Do you have any angel stories you'd like to share?
I have two, but they're really too personal to talk about on radio.
Heidi says that she's been to Eureka Springs and spent many weekends in the Ozarks. Huh.
So Heidi, you know what I mean about the history of the Crescent Hotel.
Wow, that's crazy. Do you think we can do a show on that?
You could. That place.
No, me and you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That place, I mean, people were basically, when you have cancer stage 4, and this is back turn of the century, you know, people were going there to get cured. That was their last hope, because there was nothing else that could be done for these people. And this, I forget the guy's name that ran the place. He basically was taking their money with false treatments. He knew what he was doing. And he would write to the family that, oh, they can't write right now but they're doing better. Just keep sending the money. This person might have died like weeks ago, and he was still taking that money from the family. That's how bad it was before he finally got charged in the end, and they shut it down.
Mm-hmm. Did he ever get arrested or something like that?
He did, yes.
Oh, he did?
Mm-hmm. He did.
Okay.
It's a sad story what happened in that place. I didn't realize it at the time either until, you know, after the whole experience, I kind of learned a little bit more about the history, and I don't know, it was just such a deep connection for me.
Okay. And yeah, Heidi. False hopes, that's right, Mish. Heidi says, yes, I've also seen many paranormal teams investigate too. And yes, he was robbing people and telling them lies.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad that people can actually give people false hopes. And she says, yes, and the vibe there is depressing, even before I knew the whole story. Did you feel that feeling when you first got to that hotel?
I did.
Did you know the story behind it before you went there?
I knew a little bit, but I didn't know the whole story. You know, I knew that there was a guy and that they were using the water to try to treat people for cancer. But that's all I know. It was cancer. It wasn't TB.
Your dog's cute. He's just looking away like he's
She's
being
like, it's a person.
Relax, girl. What's your dog's name?
Reese.
Reese.
Reese's.
Reese. Hey, Reese. How are you, buddy?
Hi, Reese.
Hi, Reese. How are you? That's Reese, everybody. Let me see. Mish says grumpy mints do that all the time. Government is grumpy mints. That's a new name for it. Well, I believe in angels, hon. I mean, I literally, I worked with two. Whenever I would go in and clear a house out, I always worked with Uriel. Okay. If anybody wants to look up Uriel, Uriel, that was my archangel. That was my angel guide. But whenever I would send people to the light, I always worked with this really, really pretty blonde hair angel. And whenever it was time for these people to go into the light, she would take them into the light, especially children. I will tell you one story that really touches my heart. Joni says, hi, Reese. So we did a house over in Green Tree, PA, Green Tree, not too far from me. And what happened was, right outside this person's house was a major car accident, and 4 people died. Okay, mom and dad, a son, and a little girl. So what happened was the little girl, the mom, dad, and the boy went to the light, but the little girl hung around. And she was in this house doing a lot of mischief stuff, you know. And so I got the call, came over, and that's who it was a little girl, and she was looking for her parents. Okay. And they weren't around. And that really, really killed her. Not killed her, but it really made her feel bad because she could not find her parents and her brother. And so what happened was I went under and I sat and I talked to her. Okay. And I asked my, the girl angel to come down, and she did. And she took the little girl, and I could see like the light opening up. Okay. Like the light opening up. And the sight I saw, I mean, I was teary-eyed for about a week. Her parents and her brother were waiting for her at that light.
Oh.
Oh my God! It was just like, wow! It really like touched my heart, you know. And I mean, angels are always there. I believe that there are angels on earth right now in forms of human beings.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that wholeheartedly. I ran into a lot of them. You know, when you're going through a hard time, you know, and someone comes up and like just says hello to you, and you don't know if you don't know them from Adam, but they just say hi and they smile at you. To me, that's an angel. Okay, an angel, or you know, it's not that person, it's an angel. Miss says, I tell my partner I'm an angel. That's cute. But angels are good. I really, really like angels. They really, I feel at ease when I'm around them.
I work with Angel Michael.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, Michael's pretty tough. You know, Uriel's tough. Every now and then, I'll work with Gabriel and Zadikel. Okay. But Uriel, he's the one that's, and whenever I screw up, I'm serious. I'm telling you, dead serious, everybody. If I screw up or I'm about to screw up, Uriel will show his presence on me. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know how you could tell when a spirit is by you or close to you, you just get your spidey senses and you just get this feeling. I don't know, Miss. There's a lot of archangels.
There are.
But so what the deal is, he will just like cover me, you know what I mean, from the back. Like cover me with all this, like, you better not do it, you know, and it's just getting kind of nasty with me, you know what I mean? And all right, pretty soon, Reese, pretty soon you'll be able to go on your walk.
Sorry.
I can feel the energy from Reese saying, get off this damn show. Let me have my mother back. Let me have my mom back. Hold on, Reese, couple minutes. It's so nice to see you smile. All right, Reese, relax, buddy. Relax. Okay. Any last words, hon?
No, I don't have any. I know you talk about working with angels. Michael in particular, he makes the room hotter when you call him in. And the other thing, like try this. For the listeners out there, if you don't think that you're receiving any messages from the spirit world, pay attention, because I'm sure you do. You can get them from, it could be like a coin on the ground that you find. It could be on a billboard. I mean, if you really pay attention, you can pick up on those messages that are around. It could be a song that was played in a gym. So,
yeah. I believe music is really big for me because I pick up a lot of things like that, a lot of miracles. Let's see here. What's his name? Joe says he would absolutely love to work with an angel, especially one to tell me right from wrong. Open your eyes, but open your mind, buddy. Open your mind and just believe. That's how that works. Heidi says, I absolutely know my team is the most loving, supportive group. Yes, always, always, and have my back. And that's true. And they are out there. Mike, let's see. Sherry says she had several encounters, either angels, plus I have several archangels who come in when I'm doing Reiki. That's awesome. So many sign messages, synchronicities are there. You have to be aware and mindful. And Heidi's right about that. Joe, anybody that's looking for an angel, just keep your mind open and look for the signs.
Or, try it. Try it with the spirit. Just, ask for something and give a specific date. Like, say something like, if you're really there, give me a feather by next Sunday. Like give an exact item and an exact date and see if you get it.
Yeah. I get my ravens and I get my crows. That's my gift. That's my gift from the angels and cardinals too. But Heidi's right. Ask them for guidance. Invite them into your life. That's true. Ask them. Okay. Joe says, there's the numbers. I love her synchronicities, man. I really do. I do. I'm trying to get her on the show to do a show on synchronicities. I don't understand it. When I won all that money, I sure needed guidance. I understand, buddy. Okay, and my dear friend Heidi, oh my goodness, Sean, so many ravens said hello today. It's my boys.
So is the raven one of your spirit guides?
Yes, absolutely. Definitely. Yes. I go out to work at 5 o'clock in the morning and the one's there making noise, saying good morning to me. And then I get to work and there's 3 of them on the street lamp making noise at me. And they're my spirit animals. But listen, we know Reese back there, he's kind of getting impatient.
Yeah, she's having
plus it's time to the show is over. Oh, love chit-chatting. Yeah, chit-chatting with crows and ravens are the best. Okay, everybody. CL, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show and co-hosting with me. You'll be back in a couple weeks. Oh, you're welcome. See you in a couple weeks. Daniel Hagman says, another fantastic show, Sean. Please thank your guests for me. And God bless you, but God bless you too, Daniel. So tell people how they can find you.
Oh, they can find me at clthomas.org. It's really easy. clthomas.org.
clthomas.org. Yep. Well, everybody, it was a great show tonight. Don't forget, this Tuesday I'm going to have Mark Eddy, and he's an author, and he's going to talk about his antiquities about here in the Ohio Valley. Thank you for coming on, everybody. Thank you, please. I'm just so grateful for everyone in the chat room, and I'm grateful for you, CL.
For having me. I'm really grateful for you too.
No, I'm very grateful for you. So, children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. And if you have no children, if you have no parents, find somebody, give them a hug and tell them that you love them, because those 3 words, I love you, go a long way. And on that note, happy Sunday, enjoy your week, See you guys Tuesday night.